Whoa, welcome to the Drayway. I am glad you are here. We have an absolutely beautiful day here in Las Vegas. Let me show you. Let me see if I can well, you can see it behind me, right? You can see it behind me. We got a great show for you today. Welcome to the Drayway. Don't forget to punch the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 100,000 and I need your help. So hit the subscribe button. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. We got a big show today. Let's go. Hey, welcome to the Drayway. You know, we have a lot to talk about here. I don't know if you know this. I just kind of got the news about 2 hours ago. But did you know the United States has been put on a list? Yeah, for humanitarian rights. Yeah, we're on a no-go list. Yeah, we're on the same list of humanitarian rights as North Korea, the Congo, and Pakistan. The United States, because of the humanitarian fears in the United States, we are now put on that list with those countries. How about that? Isn't it nice to know that the United States is right up there with the Congo, Pakistan, and North Korea? I wish I was joking, but I'm not. And do you know what that does for travel and tourism? Because if you're in Germany, if you're in France, if you're in South Africa, if you're anywhere in the world and you hear about that or you see that and you're like, yeah, I'm going to put off my trip to the United States. I think I'm going to wait. How do you think that's going to affect the U.S. economy? Tens of thousands of people not visiting the United States. Can you imagine what that is going to do to, say, Florida? Yeah, Florida gets most of its income from its sales tax. Yeah. Can you imagine tens of thousands of people not coming to Florida and what that will do to your sales tax numbers? That could be a huge problem, but it could be a huge problem across the country. But you have to ask yourself, why, for the first time ever, are we being put on such a list? Why? I can tell you why. We have a dangerous administration. That's how the rest of the world looks at us now. We are a danger to travelers. That's what this means. And you just can't go, oh, well, no. This is a huge problem. But that, I want you to understand, around the world, this is how they look at us now. Because this administration is completely out of whack. They're doing things that, we are now transporting people out of the United States without any due process whatsoever. We're just grabbing people, putting them on a bus and a plane and saying, see you later, bye, without so much as stepping in front of a judge. Yeah, that's not the United States. That's not what we do. We have a thing called due process. This is not the kind of America we want. I know it's not. But this is the kind of America we are getting with this administration. This is why I say it over and over and over again. You don't ever vote for Republicans to run the White House. Don't ever do it, because it's just corruption from day one to the end. It's always the same thing. Again and again. With Nixon, corruption. Ronald Reagan, corruption. George Bush, corruption. Trump, corruption. Trump again, more corruption. When are you guys going to get it? When are you guys going to understand that you can't put a Republican in the White House? It's just an awful idea. And here we are now on the don't travel list because of humanitarian rights. Yeah, we're now on the same list with Pakistan, North Korea, and the Congo. How embarrassing is that? I never thought the United States would stoop so low, but that's where we're at now. And that's where we've been put because this administration doesn't care about the law. Doesn't even, they openly say, if a judge doesn't rule, and the judges over and over and over again are ruling against Donald Trump. Have you not stopped and noticed that judges consistently rule against Donald Trump because he's an unlawful human being? He's unlawful. He does things unlawfully over and over and over again. And he's been doing it for decades. So he's learned nothing. This man has literally learned nothing. So he just continues to be corrupt year after year after year. But now the devastation is going to be, over the next few years, we're on a no travel list around the world. And now tourism is going to drop by what? 10, 20, 30, 40%? Who knows? But you're talking about over the next few years, hundreds of billions of dollars. So who's that going to affect? Nearly everyone. Nearly everyone. Maybe even you. Let me know in the comments what you think. Welcome to the Dre Way. I'm glad you're here. Did you ever think we would be put on a list like that? I mean, did you ever think that this would ever happen? It just absolutely blows my mind. Let me know what you think in the comments, but don't go anywhere. A lot more Dre Way ready to come. Stay right there. Lennar Homes has come out with a report saying, hey, things in the housing market aren't going to be that good this year. Duh. Really, Lennar Homes? Really? That's what you're coming out with? Lennar, let me speak to you directly. Lennar Homes, all you home builders, and I'm going to lump you in with the automakers because apparently you guys that make houses and cars, you're not living in 2025. I don't know what year you're living in. If you're living in 2020 or 2015, or I don't know what you're doing, but let Drayton try to help you. Drayton, this guy Drayton right here is going to try to help you out, all right? You're making shit too expensive. I know, crazy, right? Let me say that again. Automakers, home builders, your shit is too expensive. First of all, you make the shit as cheap as possible. And then you try to sell us the shit at premium prices. And yeah, see, we don't have that kind of money anymore. So we can't just willy-nilly buy your shit anymore. So for all you automakers that can't seem to figure out, you just can't figure, we just don't know how to do it. We just don't know how to make a $30,000 truck. Bullshit. You should know how to make a $30,000 truck. It's not rocket science. And for you home builders, you just can't figure out how to make a home for $200,000? Stop it. You absolutely can make a perfectly nice, livable house for $200,000. You can do it. You choose not to because you want to continue making bigger things that you can make bigger profit on, but those days are gone. Do you understand? See, we are now in the age of affordability. People just want affordability. They just want to get by. They just want the basic. They don't want frills. They don't want all these extras. No, they don't have the money for that. What they want to do now, Americans today, it's back to basics. Yeah, it's back to basics. And those big, huge monster trucks, $85,000, $95,000, $100,000, get out of here. Get out of here. Build a $30,000 truck and watch them fly off the shelves. Watch them. They will sell like you cannot believe. And you can make a $30,000 truck and make profit. We both know that. So the question becomes, why aren't you doing that? Same thing with houses. You can make a $200,000 house and make money. You can do it all day long. You choose not to. Why? When the market is demanding that, why don't you do it? Because I don't want to hear that, home sales aren't home sales aren't going to be that good, and home sales aren't this, and home sales aren't that. When you're building houses that are too big and too expensive. Yeah. Know the times that you're living in. Again, this is 2025. This is not 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. This isn't, 2015, 2014. No, this is a different time. And you have to build things that are affordable. And if you can't do that, you will suffer. Just like American automakers for the next few years, until you get a grip, you're going to suffer. And so are you home builders. You're going to suffer too, because you're making things people can't afford. And that's not good business. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I spot on or am I off? Let me know what you think. Don't go anywhere. I have a final thought. I have a lot of things going on in my personal life. I don't really talk about them here. This show is largely for, politics and what's going on in 2025. But a lot of you ask, about personal things and have questions and stuff like that. I just want you to know that I am over on Patreon. A Patreon is a free app that you can get. When you get the app, it's Patreon, Patreon. And I'm the Dre Way over on Patreon. And my personal content is over on Patreon. I don't put my personal content on here so much. At least I try not to. I try to keep it more towards politics and business. But if you want to know what's going on personally with my dad, my mom, myself, etc., I just want you to know it's over at patreon.com. And Patreon is a safe place. Sometimes I do stuff on TikTok, and that's not a safe place at all. I enjoy YouTube. I'm looking to expand my channel here on YouTube. And I'm looking to start doing more lives on YouTube as well. You'll see over the next few months, especially in the summer, we're going to be going live on YouTube a lot. So I just want you to make aware of that. This summer we'll be going live for members only as well. So if you're a member here on YouTube, you will see you will see a lot more than most. Let's just say that. But we're going to have a great summer. I'm glad if you have not hit the subscribe button, please do. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this summer, and I hope you decide to tag along. This is the Dre Way. There's a new Dre Way each and every day, and I hope you decide to come back and join me on the regular. And you can only do that if you hit that subscribe button and become a member. Can you imagine? Thanks for joining me on the Dre Way. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later. Have a good one.